so he won't be joining us. But yeah, other than that, we can go ahead and get started.
Right, we have started. Go ahead.
Awesome. Thanks, Jonathan. All right, so we are most of the way through the month of July. Welcome everyone to our Add-ons community meeting. We are here with Jorge, Andreas, Shivam, and myself. So I wanted to get the meeting started by acknowledging some friends of Add-ons. So I wanted to give a shout out to everyone who helped provide who helped review localizations for an AMO survey. We had some really great community support from Sylvan, Wild Sky, ETT, Gabriella Montague, Andre Garcia, Fan Yang, and Brian Bertles' team in Tokyo for taking a look at those translations before they go live. So thank you so much for everyone, especially for jumping in at such short notice. Super appreciated. And then I just wanted to give a couple of updates. So earlier this week, we published a blog post about our localization campaign that we've been working on with the Open Innovation team. So this campaign sought to provide translations in 7 popular languages for some of our top Firefox extensions that have broad cross-market appeal. So we had slightly over 100 volunteers chip in the campaign, and they provided about 140,000 translated lines, which is pretty cool. And so these extensions are now available, and we're hoping that we'll be able to see some increased downloads from various locales now that those things are localized. So localization is something that we've wanted to offer for extension developers for a really long time. We still don't quite have the integration to be able to do that, but hopefully this campaign can show that there is some demand for it, and maybe we'll be able to provide it at scale in the future. Does anyone have any questions or comments about localization campaign? Jorge, were you around in the days when Babelzilla worked?
Yeah, it's not that old.
Oh, it's not? Oh, I thought it was like super old.
I mean, it's as old as Andreas and me, but yeah.
So yeah, so Babelzilla just got unstaffed. So as for context, Babelzilla was the former tool that was used to localize extensions, but it's faded. Yeah, okay.
Did you say it just got staffed?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was just like unstaffed or like what happened, but you know, every now and then you talk about localization, people are like, what happened to Babelzilla?
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying we just assigned someone to that to bring it back to life.
Not.
Okay.
I was definitely not saying that. No, sorry. Yeah. Let me be clear. Babelzilla not going to be staffed anytime soon that I know of. I'm sorry. I have to be careful about saying that. And then this is just a reminder for anyone who's interested in submitting a session to MozFest about extensions. Those proposals are due on August 1st. So MozFest is going to be happening at the end of the year. If you want any help reviewing your proposal before you submit it, I'm happy to take a look, especially for stuff like just having somebody to look at the grammar and making sure there are no run-on sentences. So that's coming up pretty soon. The add-ons team, I'm just going to really quickly. So the add-ons team is planning on doing something at MozFest. It's going to be mostly our end user. Well, that's not true. So it's going to be mostly user research, user interface, user experience, and content folks who are going to be representing the add-ons group at MozFest this year. We're going to be submitting a proposal to have a session where participants can kind of like help co-design what an updated add-on submission flow looks like for AMO. And then it looks like we'll be having a meetup that's also going to support that. So we're still figuring out what the meetup looks like and who's going to be invited to that. But that's our current plan. So if you're planning on going to MozFest, or if you'd like to submit a proposal, hopefully we'll be able to see you there. Any questions about MozFest? All right, cool. And then circling back really quickly, there is going to be a user survey deployed on AMO starting after tomorrow's push for AMO. So this is to help us get a better idea of who our extension users are. So if this is you, or if this is somebody you know, encourage them to visit AMO and take the survey. It'll be really helpful in kind of figuring out who our audience is and what we can do to better serve their needs. Also, it's just a bit of news. The new Thunderbird add-on site is now live. We announced the split last week to the public. So if you're looking for Thunderbird extensions, you're going to want to head over to addons.thunderbird.net. If you're a Thunderbird extension developer, you're also going to want to be updating your extension over on that site as well, and submitting new Thunderbird extensions. So we're really excited that the Thunderbird Council is taking this project on. I think it's going to be really good for their end users, and it's going to help us kind of make some improvements to AMO in the coming months when we start clearing out legacy code. And then the last thing I wanted to do is I just wanted to give everybody a quick update. So we've heard a couple of folks ask the question, like, is there anything we can do to improve search results getting to extensions on AMO? So this is not the AMO search itself, but this is like if you're searching for a particular thing on the web using Google or Yahoo or some other search provider, and finding your way to a place that you want to be on AMO. So we had a meeting with Mozilla's new head of SEO, and I think his title is head of global search. So he made some recommendations on things we can do to clean up the site to help improve our SEO results, or our SEO rankings, to make sure that users get presented with appropriate AMO sites when they're looking for, when they're searching around. So the good news is that one of those things has already been on our radar, and one of those things is to start displaying the ratings for extensions on AMO. So we might be able to actually land that this quarter. And I want to speak for Jorge, but it looks like we might be able, some of the other recommendations we might be able to implement as well. So actually, Jorge, I'm going to ask you to speak a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the recommendations we got for the most part for the most part technical issues. They're fairly minor. They have to do with how we handle URLs, how we handle redirects, page titles, and the one that you already mentioned, which is how we the metadata that we expose that Google uses and other search engines use to create the search result entries. So it's mostly, rearranging some things, exposing data we already have. So yeah, most things should be fairly straightforward. As you mentioned, the metadata issue is something that we want to tackle this quarter, and the others we'll probably schedule for Q4, most of them. There are a couple of issues that are probably larger, but we still need to go over that with the engineering team.
Awesome. Yeah, so I think this will be really good. Are there any questions about SEO or search? Okay, cool. So that was it for my discussions and updates. Jorge and Andreas, is there anything you'd like to add?
Can't think of anything right now.
Okay.
So there are a few things shipping on AMO this month. last week we shipped the new user profile pages. And this week I think we're shipping collections. And yeah, I think following that there might be some releases related to static themes, but that's still further down the line.
Could you talk really briefly about what is new about collections that's shipping this week? Is this an updated interface?
Yeah, so basically all the collection pages should start using the new interface, the collection view, collection edit. There are a number of features that are being dropped because they weren't that used and also caused a lot of bugs. So things like voting for collections and following collections, those are no longer there. I think they're still accessible on the old site, but they will go away eventually. So yeah, it's pretty much porting them to the new interface and cleaning up some of the features that aren't that useful anymore.
Okay, awesome. And then you were saying something about, so static themes is coming out but not going out this week?
It's not this week. That's going to be rolled out gradually. So we're going to first do kind of like a silent release where we ask some community people to try it out and see that it's working well before we actually do an announcement. And so yeah, I think it goes like first the silent release, then we tell people about it, and then we do the migration of lightweight themes to static themes, which might be still like a month away or so.
I actually got one thing, which is mostly relevant for reviewers, but I think still interesting. After some investigation into our servers and what happened there, we're finally able to resolve a couple of issues with the file viewer. It's not completely fixed yet, so sometimes we're still seeing incomplete listings or an incomplete view inside the file viewer. We are working on that. But we solved lots of the other cases where the file viewer would just not find the file at all and just show a 404 page. Those cases have been resolved. And for the other ones with the incomplete, as I said, we're working on those. And I believe there's already a patch in the works that resolves those issues as well.
That's super helpful. How long have there been file viewer issues?
So the ones that where the file viewer didn't find the file at all, that has been going on for a while. We don't know exactly how long, or I mean, we didn't look into it because it wasn't that relevant. Yeah, but most importantly, it's fixed now and there shouldn't be any more missing files. And so people can actually start doing proper reviews again.
Awesome. Okay, very cool. And then I see Shivam has a question. Do we have any tools or add-ons to reload unpacked extensions automatically in the development stage?
WebEx?
Yeah, have you tried WebEx, Shivam? Oh, I think
You're
you're
muted.
muted. Still nothing.
I can add a link to the WebEx tool to the community doc. And if that doesn't help for you, then please feel free to reach out and we'll see whether there's anything else that fits your needs. Okay?
Yeah, we do know that hot reloading is on our radar for about debugging. I think there's going to be some work done on that later this year, which may or may not but may or may not help. Yeah, you need hot reloading. Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so that's on our radar, but we don't have anything. Unfortunately, we don't have anything for that right now. What we do,
Well,
yeah.
WebEx does hot reloading.
Oh, does it? Okay, WebEx
Yeah.
does do hot reloading. Okay.
Yeah, we just don't have anything inside of the Firefox UI somewhere. There's a manual reload button in about debugging. Hot reloading we only have in WebEx currently.
Okay.
And there's even a plugin that supports that adds supports for add-ons that use Webpack, because there you don't want the add-on to reload while you're repacking the add-on. But yeah, someone from the community, I think, wrote a nice plugin for that. And so Webpack is supported as well with hot reloading. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, so speaking of like WebEx, somebody mentioned that one of our community members wrote a thing for that I think would help with localization. Let me see if I can find it on the blog really quickly. Sorry, Siobhan, that's not like super helpful to your question, but just on the topic of cool things you can do with WebEx. Yeah, so apparently there's another feature called WebEx Translator. So I'm not entirely sure how that works, but for folks who are interested in getting their extensions localized, that might be a good thing to investigate. So I will say that we did have a meeting yesterday where we talked a little bit about hot reloading, and I think when there's more progress on it, we'll be writing a feature on it and sending that out in our quarterly developer newsletter. So just a quick plug to make sure that you're opted into that. All right, very cool. Is there anything else anyone wants to talk about today? Okay, cool. I think we can go ahead and wrap up a little bit early then. Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll see you around.